going, guys? It's Denham or Denwad or Denweasel or whatever. You know the drill by now. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. So it's time for another trick tip. I wanted to look at a beginner's trick tip again today, just because I've seen a lot of beginners getting into freestyle trying this one out, and I think it's a really good thing to get down, particularly when you're starting out freestyle. We're going to look at Tailstop Fingerflips. We're going to look at the single finger flip today. In the video you'll see that I'm doing doubles. That's purely because I've got so used to doing doubles that doing a single now feels more awkward. So same principle applies. So I'm going to show you through it and let's see if we can get them down. So first of all, we want to be in a tailstop. It's a tailstop finger flip, so it makes sense that we're in a tailstop. So we want that back foot nice and solidly on the tail, and our front foot is on the board ready to come off when we start to do this finger flip. So let's talk about where our hands actually need to be for the finger flip. So what I do see at first is a lot of people trying to grab the board with the thumb on the grip, there we go, and fingers underneath the board just there. Alright? Now that actually makes it a little bit harder to flip the board, so to make this a bit easier for yourself, what we actually want to do is be twisting that wrist around, having the thumb underneath the board there, and we want our fingers up there on the grip. Okay, that means that we're going to be able to throw the board forward and finger flip it a little bit quicker. Because you're finger flipping it a bit quicker, it means that you don't have to jump quite as high. The board will complete the flip a bit quicker, so it's a little easier to get your head around, I think. So I'm in my tailstop. I've got that hand down, ready to flip the board. Now the key here is in the back foot, so I'm going to jump off that back foot and get a little bit of height up, okay? As soon as I do that, I'm throwing the board forwards in front of me, so essentially unraveling that wrist to get the flip on the board. Now I'm trying to keep my weight dead centered over the board here, and I'm going to look for my bolts on the landing again, okay? I want to get a really solid landing on my bolts for this one. Okay, now one other thing that you can do that I see a lot of people do is almost preloading the jump a little bit for the finger flip, and this is particularly important if you want to do doubles. So you've got your hand in position, you're almost pushing down on the nose a little bit, then springing back up to finger flip the board. Remember, we want to be having our knees really nice and bent here. I say this all the time, but you need to think of yourself like a spring, alright? The more you compress on it, the more it'll spring back. That means the more power you've got, alright? And I see a lot of people trying new tricks, particularly ollies when people are starting out. They try an ollie with really straight legs like this and it just doesn't work. So make sure with your double finger flip or your single finger flip, whichever one you're going to try, you bend your knees first, ready to jump and really get a good bit of height and a good finger flip on it. Another really important thing here is commitment. Now I know, I get it, it can be a little bit scary landing back on your board when you're learning these tricks, alright, but trust me, land on your bolts and land with your knees nice and bent. Get low if you need to. That is going to help you land it, alright? As long as you're landing on your bolts, keeping your weight nice and central and really bending your knees, you'll be all good. You're going to have to take a slam at some point. That's just how skateboarding works, whether you're doing freestyle or transition or street or whatever. The sooner you get it out of the way, the better. You realise it really isn't too bad. Don't be afraid of falling. Happens to all of us. If you're falling, it shows that you're putting some effort in, and that's a good thing. So you can kind of go down the rabbit hole a little bit with tailstop finger flips. You can start doing 360 ones, which I've done another tutorial for. You can use your finger flips up in a truck or 50-50. There's tons you can do. You can land back in rail, you can land in Casper. You can then learn to do rolling finger flips. So there's a great many applications for this one trick. And that's kind of how freestyle works. We have one trick and then there's hundreds and hundreds of variations on it. So it's a really good thing to get down. It's going to help build your confidence, but also it gives you that little bit of another technical trick that you can use in a lot of other things. Now, I did say that there was another little thing I wanted to chat to you guys about at the end of this video. And this is a bit of a weird one, so try not to laugh too much, and it's probably not what you think. I now have an OnlyFans account. I know, it isn't what you think it is. OnlyFans obviously is an online platform that I'm sure you will have heard of for probably different reasons to the ones that I'm using it for. Now, OnlyFans works on a subscription basis. Now, on my channel, I'm going to be sharing exclusive videos with you guys. I'm going to be showing you trick tips that perhaps I wouldn't normally go through. I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes on practice sessions so you can really see kind of how I work in that setting and the sort of things I do in my practice sessions. So it's going to be all content that you might not usually see on my other channels. Absolutely no nudity though. No. Now, obviously it works on a subscription basis, so where does your money go? Well, it goes into running things like Terra Firma and keeping that project going. Also goes towards contest fees and things, but as well as that, goes towards doing a bit more of this. Obviously time isn't a free commodity a lot of the time. If I can sort of spend more time doing this stuff, then I feel like that's a good thing as long as I'm doing the right job. So if you want to check out the page, there's a link down there in the description. If you would like to head over to the channel and subscribe and maybe see a few things that you might not otherwise, not dirty things, then please by all means head over there. Nice one. Right, that's Tailstop Fingerflips. I know it's a brief trick tip because there isn't a huge amount to say. I hope that you guys get these down and I hope you found this trick tip useful. As always, leave me a message in the comments if you want another trick tip, if there's something you're working on that you can't quite figure out. And have fun, keep supporting freestyle. We'll see you again really soon. Cheers, bye bye.